Alright, everybody, back again. A little bit early. I got done all the things I wanted to get done about a half hour early, so might as well jump right into games. Apricot LaCroix today. Yeah, I figured I'd get a little bit on tape before I go to lunch, and then I don't know. We'll see what's on the tape afterwards. So what I did this morning is fixed up the free agency stuff. Yeah, I ended up not being a big deal. You can't make bids for other teams. If you're on another team and you bid on a player, it bids for your team. What else? Oh, change the Tigers jersey so the number's red. That dark red, it looks a little better. Yeah, free agency screen default, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I did put in a new system. It's very top secret. It's basically I'm slowly working my way into getting the AI coaches to be a little smarter. So just a AI fitting weird. Just an AI defensive upgrade. Not a huge thing, just a little thing. Just every little bit helps the AI coaches. Alright. So where are we? Week 0. Let's check the team. I didn't do my depth chart like I probably should have, but I did some of it, I think. Looks like I did a little bit of it. Yeah, I did do a little bit of it. Okay. Yeah, it looks good. Just do a quick auto. Alright, so we're fine. So we're ready to play. Although, let's check my... I just want to double check and make sure I'm re-signing who I need to re-sign. So none of my offensive guys... Oh, hey, somebody's here! Pass blocking looked great. I thought it looked a lot better, too. And I'm saving that auto blitz pickup assignment thing. I'm hanging on to that. I got that in my back pocket just in case. But right now, the pass blocking looks pretty good. So I'm not gonna implement that unless it looks like we need to. I don't want to overdo it on blitz pickup. I mean, you still want to blitz sometimes. You still want it to work. Otherwise, what's the point? Let's see, who else? Those guys all suck. I can let them go. Although, who knows? Maybe by the end of the year I'll want to resign him just because he's super cheap. These two guys are old. These guys, I'm going to resign the kicker for sure. These two guys aren't worth a bag of beans. So, we'll see. We'll save the rest for the end of the season. We'll submit preseason. Don't really care about that. The Bobcats, last year's champion, I think. The last year's champions? Oh, no, they lost in the championship. They got there, though. Let's play them. Let me just check. Do I have... Okay, yeah, let's play the Bobcats. Where are they? Oh, duh. They haven't even played. Alright, let's go. Alright. Start off right away. Actually, let's start off and see if I'm going to get to run my screen pass. Oh, we get to run screen passes. Alright, this is going to be fun. That also means that my running game's not going to be as good. But that's okay. The mega screen. So, I'm a little... This one's, I don't know if it's working. Watch the center there. He always gets caught up. Ugh. That was ugly. Let's run the power sweep. Bang. 4th and 2. Yikes. Quick read. Oh, I didn't get it! Ah! Come on, man! Alright, blitz. What are these guys? Oh, these guys are a running team. Oh, I forgot about that. Alright, so that means bring the safety up. Lucas, alright, Cheney and Clark, okay. Yeah, that guy's that rookie, so we'll see how he does. Got his butt kicked on that block. Alright. Oh, almost. I'm not gonna, yeah, a lot of those plays are gonna. So the problem with my screen game is I actually don't have a wide receiver. That's it. I gotta get a playmaker next time. Let's try the power screen. Jeez. Let's try this. Run! Run! Don't throw it now! I'm terrified he's gonna throw it. Okay, so here's a little hint. All I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna give away too much. Don't call the same play all game. That's all I'm gonna say. The defensive coach is gonna catch on to you. There, I said more. So that means I can't just keep running my favorite QB sweep play. I'm gonna do it anyways. After I just told you guys not to, I'm gonna do it. Quick read. Get up! Oh my god! Not a love with the mega screen. The wide receiver power screen might be my best screenplay right now. Even though my wide receiver is kind of garbage at running. From the regular quarterback sweep. Yes! Yeah, that took some work. Holy cow! Tanner. Good job, Tanner. As much as I make fun with him, I just gave him $21 for another year, so. He can't be that bad. Alright. Start I don't think they're gonna pass ever, but so yeah, so maybe blitzing's not gonna do me any good. Let's just zone up. There we go. Zone up again. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to my new D lineman. So it's short zone. Oh, good. My run defense is getting better. I'm still a little nervous. It always looks like they're just about to break one, so I get a little nervous. But it is looking better. Let's throw an actual pass. See if I can get a gap in there at all. Oh my god. Well, that's disappointing. Let's try the quick screen. Ugh. This is so disappointing. Let's try the delay. There. Oh. 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 Dang it. 4th and 4. I gotta protect this lead. Gameplay looks better. Not sure what it is, but it seems more realistic. Yeah. I've been noticing that. The biggest thing is the offensive line. I think that little change that I made to the offensive line, I really like how it looks now. You know, it's weird. It's the smallest little change. The other thing, well, we haven't really seen it yet because, oh my god, that was awesome. Just rode that guy straight over there. I think that the defensive coach intelligence change that I made, I think is going to be very subtle, but I think it's going to show up and make the games a lot more back and forth. Nice mix of plays that I'm starting over with my plays. Yeah. Yeah, is advanced from repeat respect. I know it's. I don't know. I keep trying to tell my son that, because he asks, "Why don't you play games anymore? All you do is work on your game." Man, I don't know. It's so much fun to just, make these small incremental updates. Like when your AI gets a little better, you get a few more plays, you have a new play type. I don't know. I keep trying to tell him how much fun it is to do that, but yes, like this running quarterback offense. The first time I've been able to do this. I'm just loving it. I keep thinking, one thing I'm thinking about now that I'm playing, it's funny. I think, I don't know if either of you guys were there when I first got this thing going, and I was really heavy on the option for the Iverson engine. It's kind of funny where this has turned up, how this has turned out since then, because back then, I rarely play games. This has been the substitute. Yeah, isn't that funny? I don't know. This seems a lot more fun to me than playing games. Making this game and seeing it progress is way more fun than playing. Unfortunately, I still buy games. I've got this Steam library that I never play, and I haven't even installed half of them. It's so bad. I still buy them, I just don't play them anymore. Yeah, but way back when I was messing with the option, I really thought that when the Iverson engine came out, and when everybody, when all was said and done and it's been played and tested, everybody was going to run the option. And it's funny how quickly I realized the option's garbage. It's so dumb. It makes no sense. You can't use it in any way. It's a cool little gimmick, but you can't use it strategically in any way. And screen passes have become my favorite play. I don't know. It's just so weird how things work, how the game engine evolves and the whole process. Who would have thought screen passes? I almost got rid of screen passes at one point because they were so bad, and like now I just want to keep running them. You're in the same boat, yeah. It's like I want to play games. I just don't. I just want to play my game. That's it. I tell my son too, I'm like, this is, and my daughters too, they're just starting to get into the idea of maybe doing game development or doing digital art or something like that. I keep telling them, like, this is like the ultimate role-playing game, Like, yeah, you can go on Fortnite and you can grind for 2 weeks and you can get a really cool skin. I go and I work on my game and I grind for 2 weeks and I've got a better game at the end of 2 weeks. I'm like, so you tell me which one's more fun. And then they tell me Fortnite's more fun. So I guess I lost that argument. All right, let's try this. Oh, all right. This is the last play. Oh, don't get picked. Oh, my God. Well, he got 26-yard passing this time. He's so bad. Oh, he's such a bad quarterback, but I love it. All right. Who do we got? Panther. Let's see what the Twisters look like. Twisters. I don't want to play another rushing team. I want to play a passing team. The Kraken. I love the Kraken. Oh, here's a passing team. Here we go. We're playing the Kraken. This is the only 3D football management out there. It's a huge vacuum. Yeah, that's... you know what? I was really worried when I started working on this that I was going to get, a year in to the point where I started to have something And then like one of the big companies would launch a game just like it, or you know, like 3 other people would launch games like this. So I'm actually pretty happy that it's where it is at the time it is. So I, you know, if I could just get people, well, I gotta finish it first. But once I get it to a point where I feel it's pretty legit, and I start, you know, in earnest planning the next one, and I could maybe start advertising this a little better. Because nobody even knows this thing exists. You know, that's on me. That's my fault. I think if people knew this was out there, I think they'd like it. Oh, dang it. Another man defense team. See, I used to love playing against these man defense teams because then I could do those drags, right? You do the drag with the wide receiver 1 across and he usually beats his guy. Yeah, not anymore. Things I need to know is how your players are still in TD Celebrate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's super funny. So I've thought about fixing that, but I mean, I am gonna fix it. But the question is how, and the reason I haven't actually just jumped in and done it is because I'm thinking about adding a transitional, I guess, scene in there where, you know, after the touchdown and the celebration, I want to eventually add something where maybe they run off the field, or, you know, they run to a huddle. Like, I want to add another transitional scene in between plays. So that's kind of why I'm holding off on that to really address the animations in between plays, is because I feel like I want to do something better. I just don't know quite what yet. Yeah, it just definitely ends too abruptly, that's for sure. Yep. Play an end of game. Yeah, that's true. That actually kind of annoys me too. I want to do more with, I guess, animation and camera animation and like transitional, like actual transitional scenes. Nah, you're not OCD. That bugs me too. Oh man, that D end that I got is just demolishing that lineman. I love it. Yeah, celebration at the end. I think that'd be really fun. Or just create one system. What I'm thinking is maybe create a system, a transitional system in between plays, where it can work for everything. You just feed in where, you know, where should the team go? Is it a huddle? Is it the sideline? Is it off the field? Just like you throw in a place, and then this system sets up the, okay, it should take, this scene should last 10 seconds, you know, and then start telling the players where to go, and then, you know, the right speeds and the right running animation and stuff like that is kind of what I'm thinking. Yep, upset at the end of the game. That's probably a really good idea. Yeah, I definitely want to do something like that, because if I ever want to get that, like that Monster League football or the Cyberball remake, if I ever want to do those, I gotta up the transition game. I gotta up my transition game a little bit. Powerful defensive ends are overpowered. Yeah, you may be right. I think it's because of the athleticism. I never intended defensive ends to have like 85 speed and things like that. I think it's a player generation issue, because you get guys with 85 speed and 85 strength. They could have just average pass rush ability, and they're demolishing offensive linemen. Cyberball remake, yeah. Cyberball is like one of the greatest games ever. I remember just, God, I would go, Chuck E. Cheese had the Cyberball game, and, God, I would go and just drop hours into that game. I loved it. I had to ride my bike for an hour to get there. And then, so like an hour bike ride to even get there. Then I would pump like $5-10 into this game. And then it's like an hour bike ride to get home again. Just to play Cyberball. God, I love that game. I deserve more followers. Yeah, thanks. I think I'll get there. I'm not super stressed out about it. I'm more stressed out that the game's not quite what I want it to be yet. But God, when I get there, then I'm really gonna stress out about followers. Then I'll be stressed. Because right now I'm not super stressed yet. I will be soon. Alright, I gotta kick this one. Even though my kicker's garbage. Oh, yes! Yeah, the tough part with the Cyberball thing, I really, really want to do Cyberball. You have no idea how badly I want to do that game. The problem, yeah, it's that athleticism. Okay. Yeah, I'm just totally jumping around on topics. That athleticism for Suarez is what the problem is. There's two ways I could fix that. One is really, really easy. One is adjusting athleticism on defensive linemen. Both of them actually are pretty easy. But the player generation one could touch a ton of other things. So, nope, there's a third way too. I can make it so super athletic defensive linemen are less effective, and therefore player evaluation for guys who are just athletic but don't have the skills is tilted more towards the skills. I actually think that's the right solution, because there are times when I would want a really athletic D lineman, even though I know he's going to get destroyed by a tackle, but I might want him there for some other reason. Oh yeah, Cyberball. I'm all over the place. So the one big reason I haven't done a Cyberball, and it's really dumb, I can't find the right robot models. I'm not a modeler. I buy all my graphics because first of all, well, I'm more of an engineering modeler. I've gone to a school and done a bunch of those, but it's not quite the same thing. And I don't want to take the time to figure it out and learn it, and to just be average at it after putting all that time in, and then maybe putting more time in and maybe become slightly better than average. I can't do it. So I buy all my models. And basically the only reason I haven't done Cyberball is because I cannot find a model in animation that anybody's done already. And that's kind of a dumb reason not to have done it, but like literally that's the only reason I haven't done it yet. Let's do an end around just for fun. Those guys were just waiting for it. That was funny. So one thing I had thought, this was my way of cheating the Cyberball modeling issue, is I actually thought about this, and I haven't totally given up on this yet. There's still a chance that I may try it, at least do an experimental prototype. I thought about taking this football player model and just editing the texture to make him not look human, but to make him look like he's made of robot parts. But essentially, it's still a human football player model with just a different skin on it to make him look robotic. So that was one way I thought about cheating the system a little bit. And then if you buy upgrades or do your engineering on your football model, just basically just retexture. Yeah, I was thinking of doing it in 3D. Just because I already have like 80% of the code to do that. I guess I could do 2D. I did start on a 2D game. When I first, before I got to, actually technically this is actually a 2D game. I other than the ball physics, everything else is on a plane with 0, where the Y is 0. All my plays are written in 2D vectors. So I guess technically this is a 2D game. I just, because I bought 3D models, it looks 3D. Yeah, I gotta do something about these DNs. So we make this game but different models. That's one idea I had, is I would use a lot of what I've got. So like player movement, things like that. I would use a lot of that. I would definitely overhaul what is important. So things like like speed and strength. I would overhaul how those are used. Durability, things like that would become really important. I probably would add an acceleration component or something. But as I said, this is just totally like conceptual thinking right now. The main part of the game I thought would be, like upgrading, very engineering like upgrading your players, buying upgrades, buying modules for your players. Like repairing them, repairing damage. It's like maybe the reason I wanted robot models is because I want to use tracks and wheels and things like that. And the idea would be, oh, well, if your running back got hit too many times, maybe he has track damage, and now you got to you got to repair it, or his turning or his speed is really bad or something like that. That was kind of the idea. And then you earn money. Oh, man. You earn money during the season, things like that. I don't know. I haven't gotten really far on it. That was kind of the idea, though. It was kind of the same with the, the Monster League thing. It was, different types of monsters have different abilities, and certain team building became kind of this little game within a game where you can't have certain combinations or else they fight with each other. I don't know, but the idea was make a same sort of game, but just put different twists on it to emphasize different parts of managing teams and things. Like I said, I haven't gotten very far on it, but that was mostly the idea. All right. Now that I've done that game, I am thinking that I want to, another passing team. Let's play these guys. I'll just play another game while I'm thinking all this stuff out. I definitely want to address the defensive end issue. Probably the next big thing that I want to work on for today and tomorrow. I mean, it's going to affect it'll affect most teams and how they manage their roster. Yeah, because both of mine are super athletic, so I'm just going to demolish these guys. Yeah, it's going to affect how teams manage their rosters, but I think it's going to be worth it. God, look at that. That's ridiculous. That's way too much. Alright, let's try a screen. Power screen. Ah, the man. Dang it. Alright, let's get the tight end out of the backfield then. There it is. Oh, I get doubled. There we go. Yeah, it's part of that whole cyberball model issue is part of that's probably the main reason why right now I'm leaning towards why I'm leaning towards a more college focused game. Well, not college focused. Leaning towards more like a coaching role playing game style where so think of this game, but really amp up the coaching portion of it. So like leveling up your coach and getting, leveling up your coach. So instead of hiring coordinators and things, those guys are you. That's your character. And you would have to like gain experience and things like that. And you'd start off at like Yukon, right? The Yukon or Alaska. You'd start off at one of those terrible teams. And you would have like no bonuses or anything. You'd be terrible at training. You'd be terrible at recruiting and all that stuff. You'd just be really bad at just about everything. And let's see the celebration at the line anymore. No, I didn't fix it. It's the reason you don't see it is because the player who's celebrating is not in on the next play. So you only see it when the guy who's doing the celebrating is in on the next play, and you've called the next play before he finishes celebrating. So yeah, I saw it like a game ago. It just happened to me. Yeah, so the college thing, the idea there was, so back to that, like you're a really bad coach. So let's say you take over Alaska, or maybe you're the offensive coordinator of Alaska or something like that. And you do well enough, or you play long enough, so, you earn, I guess, a level up or something like that. You earn some points, whatever we're calling them. And you can use those points to then improve, like, maybe you improve developing quarterbacks. It sticks out. No, you're right. It's kind of silly. The celebration thing is kind of dumb. I'll get it, though. Yeah, so like say you level up, you get your point. Let's say now I'm good at developing quarterbacks. And then you go into your next season and your quarterbacks develop and they do okay and things like that. And then the idea is that like a role-playing game, you keep improving yourself, which then improves your ability to lead the team and your team's performance, which then, you earn more points, and then hopefully you get better and better and you work your way up the college ranks. So, you get offered jobs at better schools, things like that. And they're really focused towards, okay, what are you good at? What is our school good at? What do we like? What do we value? Like maybe one school really wants a coach who's excellent at recruiting. And you've recruited some really good classes and you gain this reputation for recruiting. You may get offered that job. Or maybe, there's a real quarterback focused school and you've had quarterbacks drafted into the pro league, so maybe they like that, so it's just totally amping up the coach portion of this game. And along with that comes with all the other coach things that you're going to probably want to do. So like playbooks have to be totally different. You can't, since you're not going to hire coordinators and stuff, you are the coordinator now. You probably have to be able to design your own plays. So the play designer would be integrated into the game somehow that made sense. So like maybe if you start off with just every coach, well, not every coach, every time you start the game at the bottom of the league, you start with like 10. You'd like to be fired. Oh, you would definitely get fired. That would be part of this game for sure. Getting fired would be a huge part of this game. Oh, crap. It was 4th down. Whoops. Yeah, so like playbooks would be like maybe you start, every time you start, you get the 10 generic plays, right? There's just like, they're really bad and they're really dumb. You got to get back to work. All right. See you later. So like you get your 10 dumb plays. And then maybe you want to your career, you want to take the path maybe less of a recruiter and developer, but maybe you want to be known more as an elite like tactician. So you start investing in yourself in play calling. And maybe that investment allows you then to, you've got like whatever 5 points in play calling. I don't know how that system's going to work yet, but something like that. Well, now maybe you get to design 5 plays. Your playbook expands by 5 more slots, and maybe now you get to design 5 plays. So that the idea is by the time you work your way up to the pro leagues, or like maybe you're, coaching the elite college schools, you've developed yourself into this offensive wizard, and you just have this really awesome playbook with all these cool plays and trick plays, and you bring this playbook with you to the pros. Maybe like a pro team wants to juice up their offense, and you're like the super up and coming college wizard. So that's the way that the path that you take, is by having really awesome plays. Whereas another guy, maybe he gets to the pros by being like the quarterback whisperer. He just develops amazing quarterbacks and things like that. And he's got marginal play calling. So maybe he only has, maybe that playthrough you only get like half the number of custom plays as you did in the other one. But then you get to the pros, and then you flame out maybe, and you get fired. And the coaching carousel is going to be a huge part of this game, because if it's a role-playing game based on your coaching ability, where you get a job has to be meaningful, and how many job offers do you get has to mean something. So my idea would be, all right, chances are most of the time when you get to the pros, your first job, you're probably going to flame out. So then you get fired, and then it's all right, well, maybe another pro team will hire you, but only as offensive coordinator. But you still have the option of going back to college, maybe, and like a middle-of-the-road college team will bring you back on as head coach or something like that. So I don't know. I'm planning it all out right now, and I'm really liking the way it sounds. And I'm kind of playing with some ideas about what would I change in this game to make it work for this coaching RPG. And there's a few things I've identified. One, I want to go to 11 players per side. Just for the most part, just because people understand that, and if I'm changing the game, oh my goodness, I'm changing the concept of the game so much from what everybody's used to. Oh yeah, recruiting would be a huge part of it. And that's the other thing, is I'm trying to figure out how do you make recruiting actually fun and interesting and not just a spreadsheet game. How do you keep the spreadsheet portion of it, like there's still like hundreds of players to recruit. So you got to do some work, but how do you make that fun and not tedious? So that's something I'm working on. And recruiting is going to be one of those things you can specialize in, which I think would be super fun. My playthrough, I would probably be a recruiting juggernaut. Yeah, that was bad. 11 players per side, because, the RPG the coaching RPG part of the game is going to be hard enough for people to wrap their minds around. I also don't want to have to force them to wrap their minds around only having 8 players per side. Like the draft in your budget depends on your recruiting skill. That's a pretty good idea. It's going to be something like that. It's definitely not going to be like a lot of the recruiting college games I've done, where you're just dumped into this pool of hundreds of players, and you just sort them by like 40 time, and then you click on a bunch and say, I'm going to visit these. Like, I just want it to be more interesting. So I'm thinking of doing something like the draft, like you'd mentioned. Yeah, like region. Maybe like the first filter is something like here are the player, like, you know, there's going to be an aspect of players are interested in you. So that could maybe be a first pass or something like that. I want to do something on the field too. So I'm thinking like maybe there's a couple of, not necessarily mini games, but part of the scouting process or part of the recruiting process would be to have a certain number of players come and do something visually on the field. Like maybe there's a scouting combine that you do at your school, or if you're in the pros, maybe that's what you do for scouting the draft. Is you have players come to do the field, and maybe there's a bunch of events that they run, or maybe there's like little things that they do, or you know, maybe they, I don't know, they compete against each other for something. I'm not really sure what, but I want to do something on the field at some point in that process. Maybe it's the last thing you do, where you know you have your pool of 10 players that you've whittled it down first by scouting, by visits, by, you know, inviting them for interviews. You do kind of like the grind work, and then at the end, when you've got the guys you're really invested in, you bring them onto the field and do something fun with them. And I don't know what that is yet, but I want it to end with a game. I end with something visual to do so that you can watch them and just like, oh my god, that guy's awesome, I really want him, you know, versus having that list of like 30 players and then you hit finish recruiting and then you look at the list, oh, I got 10 of them, okay, well, who cares, you know. I want you to really, when you lose a guy, I want you to be pissed. When you get a guy that you're really excited about, I want you to be super excited. So those are the things I'm thinking through for the college game. Put them through drills. I kind of like the drills idea because you can do the normal drills. Like I can have them run the 40 and we can do like a race, right? You put them in heats of 5 and you run them and you can see some guys beat other guys. That would be fun. You could run them through like the cones and things like that, or you can do like the 2 guys that slam into each other and push and all that stuff. I think it would be really fun to have, just create some really weird ones too, where they play, like maybe you get them all together and they play like a game of dodgeball or something. I don't know. Just something where you can watch them move and use skills against each other, I think would be cool. And I figured if you're doing a 3D engine, just like use it for all you can use it. Might as well use it. I'm not using my 3D engine nearly enough right now. I need to use it more. But there's a limit to what I can do with this game right now, because this wasn't designed to do really much more than just be a tech sim with a 3D engine. I think the next game is going to be a 3D engine with some tech sim elements in it. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about it. A lot of those ideas were ideas I had for the monster game that it really didn't go anywhere. The Cyberball game is going to be basically, if I ever get to that, it's basically going to be MechWarrior with football. It's going to be very engineering heavy. That'd be a fun one, but that's totally different, and I would need so many models. I think I'm holding off on that game until I can hire a modeler to do all of it at once, including animation. So I mean, we're talking, you know, many thousands of dollars probably, and that's a long ways off. But the college one, I have the resources right now to do it. I just need to plan it and then do it. So that's why the college one came first. It's just purely resources. I've got like 4 more football games planned with different aspects of them. Yeah, not only the college. Well, it's not even. I don't know why I keep calling it college. It's really not a college game. It's a coaching role-playing game, because I bet a vast majority of the people that play it are going to end up in the pros. They're not going to stay in college. So, yeah, it's really a coach game. Frozen Cortex. Yeah, I have that game. I played it a few times, and then it landed on the pile of games I don't play anymore because I'm busy working on my own game. I liked it. That's actually that got me thinking that I wanted to do, that resurrected the Cyberball idea in my head, because there's some of the things in Frozen Cortex I love. The overall game I don't really love that much, but there are elements in it that I do. Like I said, Cyberball was my favorite, probably my favorite game ever, but there are things in Cyberball that I wish were more like Frozen Cortex. Yeah, so I'm excited. That's another reason I keep I'm gonna be obsessive about improving this engine, because most of the code in this engine, especially at the AI level, like the individual player AI and the coach AI, are things I'm gonna copy right over to the coach game, and then I'll improve them over there. But the better I can get them in this game, the easier it's gonna be for the next one. So yeah, a lot of the things I'm doing here, I'm not only doing because it's great for this one, it's because I don't want to do it again in the next one. I just want to use it. Like the screen pass. There's no possible way I'm going to make a coach role-playing game without heavy use of the screen or the running quarterback. Right? I got to get offense and defensive line interaction right, because that's going to that's going to be the basis of everything in the next game if I'm going to 11 players. So just stuff like that. So I'll be tinkering with this AI for quite a while. Uh-oh, something's going on here. Oh, cool. Oh, what should we do? Let's get to the end of the season. So I feel pretty good about my team. I would like my quarterback to get a little bit of passing skill, and then I gotta land a wide receiver, and I think I'll be quite a threat then. All right, let's see. Let's save it. Let's check my team quick and see if any of these young guys earned their way into a new contract. That guy's old. Oh. Mason Richardson may have. As a depth O-lineman. 16. Well, he only wants 4 years and $15 though. What about Burns? How am I running back to? Ugh. Gallagher. Oh, excellent special teamer, though. Oh, he's my top special teamer. 4 years seems like a lot for that, though. I'm going to give Richardson a deal. My playthrough, I've gotten almost all my talent through free agency. Yeah, I actually didn't even get through a whole season. Like I said, it's not because it's bad. It's just because, like, I just, you know, when that came out, I was just getting started on kind of learning Unity, and usually a late round pick. Yeah, that kind of sucks when you get stuck at the back end of the draft all the time. Yeah, I was just learning Unity when that came out, so I was really, really excited about learning how to program and getting this all to work. So, like, a lot of games that came out during that time, I totally missed the boat on. Like, I bought them all, and, like, I maybe installed some of them, played them for a couple hours, and I was just like, I gotta get back to my game. I've become kind of obsessed with programming now. All right. Out of college. So Florida's... Oh, wait. No, we're not done the playoffs. Cool. So I don't have to play then. Oh, the Bobcats again. I already played them. Let's see how they ended up. Ooh, look at that. #1 defense. Number 32 ranked passing game. Ouch. Oh, funny. Alright, we'll sim it. Yeah, I figured I would lose. Sim. Hey, the Panthers, too! Those are two games we played. Ooh, number 4 rushing team against the number 5 passing team. Alright, I'll finish that. Let me save the league. Let's check college and make sure that looked good. So Oklahoma State, Florida State. Now let's check the schedule. Oklahoma State, Florida State. Oklahoma State won to get in. Florida State won. Alright, so things are starting to look right on the college games. They're starting to look better. Good. I feel pretty good about that. Where's Minnesota? Ooh, 18. Nice. Let's see how the bad teams are doing. Wow, look at the UConn, number 28. Wow. Well, they did beat up on bad teams, but they did beat Oklahoma. That's pretty good. Cool. What else do I want to check? Let's check leaders. So passing. I'm not. Why did I even look at passing? Oh, I know why. To laugh at my guy. 647 ratings, 796 yards. Oh my god. That's so bad. Oh. Your alma mater, Fresno State? Ah! Hey, that was impressive that they won at that time, because they're not one of the power schools. So they made the most out of what they got. That's for sure. Alright. Kirby again. 1,300 yards rushing again. Let's see, all-time. Where are we at? 4th all-time in rushing so far. Nice. Not bad for a quarterback. This Buster Saunders, I played him in the preseason when I was testing out that... what was I testing out? Oh, the defensive coaching thing. That guy's ridiculous. He's so good. Buster Saunders. Let's see, blocking. Defense. Let's see, defense. Sacks. Perkins with 13. Most of those are probably from my game. Perkins got 19. Alright. What interceptions? Channy was 7. Lucas was 6. Chaney 15. He's not in the top career guy, but he's up there. All right, cool. Let's see. All right, we'll check the Hall of Fame. Actually, I think I'm gonna stop now. I want to, before I go into the off season, I want to fix that defensive line thing so that everybody's got a chance to adjust in the off season. I think I'm gonna do the least disruptive version first and see how that looks. I'll do like the same thing I did with O-line. I'll do the least disruptive version first. We'll see how that looks. If it looks like we need to do more, I'll probably then adjust player generation. The least disruptive version is just have coaches look at defensive linemen and value speed a lower, and then with that I'll actually make speed less effective as in pass rushing. So if I make it less effective and then I also make coaches see that it's less effective, that should address not only the effectiveness of having those really fast guys, but also coaches understanding and not starting those guys all the time. Now, as a human, if you want to start a guy who's really fast, even though you know he's not going to be super effective, that's your choice. And there are some cases I would do that. Like if I were worried about like sweep plays and things like that, or I wanted my DNs to do really good pursuit, I might do that. But if I just purely wanted pass rush and run rush ability, and I knew it wasn't effective, I probably would stop starting those guys there. So that's a long, rambling way of me saying I'm going to work on it today. If I get it done early, might run another stream today. Chances are it's going to be tomorrow morning, though, because I think I got to shovel the driveway again. So let's just count on tomorrow morning. If I get it done early today, I might start messing around with these animation, the transitions, because I do want to work on the animation transitions a little bit eventually. So I might start tinkering with that if I have extra time. That's not going to be done for a while because I got to try a few different things, but I might start tinkering with it. So who knows? Anyway, glad you came to the stream. It's always more fun when people come and chat and have questions and things. And then they get to listen to me ramble on about Cyberball and future football games. So, thanks. I will see you tomorrow.